Hello, welcome to the video. My name is Owen Fox and I'm glad you joined me today, so thank you. Sit back and relax and let's share this special moment together. I made a Facebook post today saying this video is about reassuring people. Reassure people, tell them you agree with them and mean it by stepping into their perspective. Love them and be on their side. So, how many of us do not agree with people? Instead, we're always fighting and being in conflict with people. So, today, I want to share the idea of agreeing with people. Now, I shared something else a little bit more profound. It says, when you agree with people, you can do it on the emotional and love heart level, rather than just intellectual, agreeing with the idea. It means you love, support, and encourage them in some kind of way to be honest and to share with you. You're encouraging them, you're promoting them, you're encouraging them to share their truth and honesty with you, how they really feel and think. Instead of the resistance, the big wall, the barrier, no, the big reaction, no, you're making me feel bad, you're bringing up my stuff, or you're making me sound like I'm bad or wrong person. It can also mean you agree with their perspective. As a perspective, you agree, okay? You may not see eye to eye 100%. No, not necessarily. Hardly anybody does. But you can most certainly, and this is what it's about, you can most certainly validate and agree with them, to be on their side, to accept and to allow that they are a person, and they have a mind, they have an opinion, they have a past experience that's brought them to here, and you honour that. That's what agreeing is. That's what I mean by agreeing. And I even say to people, I agree with you. And when I get into the idea of agreeing, it's the opposite of resistance. It's allowing, it's holding a space. Like I say here, only enemies disagree strongly. Lovers and friends agree. Validate. Hold space. And accept. And when I say accept, I don't mean be a doormat, or to be a person who does nothing. Accept it. It means to hold a loving space in your heart and to agree, validate, honor. This is vitally important. And so many of us do not do this, including myself. I'm only practicing and learning, and I'm sharing in this video with you. And you know what not doing this does? Barriers, walls, resistance. Do you ever get hit by that energy? Barrier, wall, resistance. Stay away from me, you're bad and wrong. Wouldn't if this leads to hurt, pain, trauma and disconnection? Especially hurt, pain, trauma and conflict. Hurt, pain, conflict, disconnection. Okay, so wouldn't it feel nice if we could? Wouldn't we like to be heard and approved? Approval? Agreeing approval? When you agree or approve? Approve. It feels healing to be held space for, to be listened. Instead of someone like saying you're wrong or bad for having your emotion. You're wrong or bad for having a perspective. Now, one thing I want to just clear up before I end this video is we all have a perspective, an experience, It's like me saying, I like chocolate, or I like bananas, I like oats. It's not accurate for someone to say, no, you don't. This is your experience that you like them, you know. It could change in the future, but you've liked them. It's like if you're angry or upset, or if you have the perspective that this person hasn't, if you perceive someone to be an angry, closed wall who you cannot talk to easily, that's valid, like saying I like chocolate. It's not, you do not have to be right, but you can have an experience or a perspective. It's right for you. It doesn't mean the other person is wrong. It's not about someone being wrong. It's about this is how you truly feel. And everyone, you have to allow another person to have their perspective and experience about you. Now, we allow and validate our perspective, whether or not it's factually true. Like I could say I remember you being like a bully to me when I was a child, and for years I felt unsafe with you, for example. Let's say that. I felt unsafe with you. I couldn't talk. You didn't. I felt you couldn't listen. Another person could say, what do you mean? How dare you say that? That's wrong. That's a lie. If you're in a space where you can hold space, just joking there, you can say, thank you for sharing that with me. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. You felt unsafe. You felt I was closed or angry, or like closed or argumentative or something aggressive or unavailable emotionally. Maybe unavailable physically. Okay. And you can have this little chat and someone can say, yeah, or no, that's more or less how I felt. This is how I felt. Or yeah, I felt so sad. This is called, for me, what I'm learning at the moment, holding a space and listening. It's called validating. And validating is healing. And holding space for somebody to feel an emotion and to express and to talk about an emotion is extremely healing, extremely healing. It's very, very, very connective and healing for a relationship too, between two people. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's all I want to say now. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care and lots of love. Please share for anyone you think could help. Please pass on the message and share. I would really appreciate that. Let's shift the consciousness of the planet together as a team. We're a team, everyone. See you. Much love and blessings. One last thing. It's also extremely nice if you can actually agree with someone and say, I'm consciously making an effort to step outside of my box, my limited shoes and box of my perception. And I'm going to step into your perception of what it might be like to be you. Looking in on me. You with your own things to teach me, which I can learn from. And I'm going to open myself up to learning from you. And I'm going to step outside of myself. And when I do this, it's going to allow me to agree with you. Because what you're saying probably holds much more sense if I was to come from your experience than the sense that I, in my limited experience and perspective, can see easily. But if I come from your perspective, it makes sense and it holds value and validation. Then, what I did today, people love to be heard and agreed with. And it's not about lying or faking it. It's about stepping out of your shoes. This boils down to the first commitment by all the religions who I love and respect, pay my homage for, you know. Treat others like you would like to be treated. That's space. Validation. Quiet space to be heard and listened to. Approved, understood, and accepted. There's no conflict when you love people like this. You just learn from each other. Simple as that. With respect. How easy is it? Okay, it's not too easy, but it's not the most complicated thing in the world, but in a way it is. But it's kind of simple, but it's just difficult from where we're coming from, because we're growing, everybody. We're seedlings.